At last, there's a real solution in the offing to the problem of ballot fraud. As you recall, after the last election, President Trump was concerned that he may have lost 2 or 3 million votes to illegal immigrants, particularly in California, and that might have accounted for Hillary's margin in the popular vote. So he convened a commission to investigate ballot integrity. And to chair it was Vice President Pence and also the Kansas Secretary of State, Chris Kobach. And Kobach had earlier pioneered a study on the subject with a very interesting methodology. And he had done so voluntarily as Secretary of State of Kansas, enlisting the voluntary cooperation of largely Republican states. But now the study is going nationwide with the force of a federal commission behind it. Here's the deal. They're going to take the first and the last names of every person that voted in the United States, and their dates of birth, and the last 4 digits of their Social Security number, and they're going to match them against the voters of all 50 states. And they're going to find, are there any people who voted in effect twice, in one state and in another, with the same name, same date of birth, and same Social Security number. Now, when they did this on an experimental basis with the voters of North Carolina after the 2012 election, they found upwards of 50 or 70,000 matches, which could well constitute double voting. The deal is that vote registrars are very reluctant and slow in purging their lists of people who've moved or even people who've died. And there are reputedly over 1 million dead people on the voter rolls, and certainly millions of people who've moved away. So, for example, if Dick Morris moved from Connecticut to Florida, I wouldn't cancel my registration in Connecticut. I'd just enroll in Florida. So then an illegal immigrant, perhaps, or perhaps a legal voter, with a Democratic operative that comes to the polls in Connecticut and says, "Hi, my name is Dick Morris. I'm here to vote." And they say, "What's your address?" And he gives the correct answer. And he doesn't have to produce photo ID, so he votes. And at the same time, the real Dick Morris votes in Florida as well, and you have a double vote. So they initiated this study by requesting all secretaries of state in the country to provide them with data on everybody who voted in their state. Now, there's nothing confidential about that data. In fact, you can buy it from the commissioners of elections. Candidates routinely do for their mailing lists and stuff. Some of the Democratic secretaries of state in California and a few other states, 5 or 6 of them, have refused to provide it on the specious grounds of privacy. All the Republican secretaries are, and most of the Democrats are so far. This will afford us a concrete, specific understanding of the extent of ballot fraud. And we need that because, honestly, I have to tell you that I believe the Republicans are right when we say that millions of people vote illegally and that the Democrats oppose voter ID and stuff like that because they want to stop us from ending that practice. But there's a chance the Democrats are right, that producing photo ID and that stuff would intimidate people from voting and is really being pressed by Republicans to suppress voter turnout among poor people. So let's not fight over this. Let's find out who's right. And this study is the ideal way to do that. So stay tuned. This is one of the most important developments in our democracy. Frankly, when you couple this with the Supreme Court decision to investigate and possibly overrule reapportionment, redistricting, based only on party considerations, you really have 2 steps that can materially advance democracy in the United States and fair elections. Now, I just want to let you know 2 things. First, my new book my wife and I wrote, Rogue Spooks, The Intelligence War on Donald Trump, is now available for pre-order from Amazon or Barnes & Nobles or Books A Million or anybody. And if you pre-order it now, I'll send you a signed copy when the book comes out for publication in the middle of August. I want this to open as #1, and pre-orders count in that. So please, if you want the book, order it. It really exposes the whole bit as to what's going on with this Russia scandal, with the FBI, with the CIA, with the Brits, with the Ukrainians, and the whole bit. And it's really the first book of its kind. I think it'll be a big blockbuster. And on a lighter note, if you're hanging around at 5 o'clock today, there's a new website that the guy at the other end of that camera, Clayton Leota, put together called The 5 O'Clock Hour. That's THE, the letter 5, the number 5, OCLOCKHOUR.com, The 5 O'Clock Hour. And on it today, he has a very important history lesson of the history of the martini. So if you're an aficionado or a devotee of that particular beverage, you'll find that a lot of fun. Thanks a lot for watching.